had actually gotten worse. I have a feeling this year, though, it's going to be even more interesting. Between Windows 10 reaching end of life, game developers targeting higher minimum requirements, and an unprecedented market shift that at first glance looks kind of interesting, but when you crunch the numbers, reveals a lot about what gamers are buying right now. So let's take a look at all these parts. And let's build the average PC and see if it's enough for modern gaming. What is enough for our average games, though, is our sponsor.
N-able. Their N-Central endpoint management software offers you the freedom to run IT the way that you want to, with highly customizable workflows without sacrificing security features. Learn more using our link in the video description.
Right away, we're off to a similar start. With 6 cores and a base clock of 2.5 gigahertz, it aligns perfectly with the information Valve makes publicly available on their survey. Which actually brings me to my first little gripe with Valve's survey. Guys, can you please give us more indication of the generation of these CPUs? It would make the hardware survey vastly more informative for its users and game developers, which could know which 6-core CPU they're targeting. It's either this one or some random Xeon chip from over a decade ago. The more likely answer is it's actually AMD that's driving up these 6-core sales. But how could that be when Intel is still out competing them? Well, this is actually where the numbers get really interesting. See, Intel is still ahead of the overall install base, but they've lost about 5% of their lead to AMD since the last time we did this. On the surface, that looks pretty bad for Team Blue. But if you break it down, it's actually much worse. You see, the Steam hardware survey has been including PCs that have been deployed for years, sometimes decades, which means that if AMD is moving the needle in such a short period of time, they need to be outselling Intel by substantially more than that 5%. And that seems to be the case, according to TechSpot at least, who found that AMD was outselling Intel 3-1 on Amazon. If you combine that with gaming handhelds like the Steam Deck being almost exclusively AMD, you're getting a troubling trend on your hands for Intel, who will eventually lose their throne as the most average gaming CPU. Very troubling indeed. Don't worry, that was actually empty. I sleight of hand you. Anyways, for parts that aren't covered on the Steam hardware survey, such as the motherboard, we went to the top seller on Amazon. After sorting by Intel and dismissing the "Are you sure?" prompt, we grabbed the Asus TUF Z790 Plus Wi-Fi. Compared to last time, boy, are people ever spending more on their motherboards. I mean, it's a better board. It has more slots for expansion cards, more M.2 slots, more system memory, not to mention more modern I/O, including Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth. But it's over $100 now. Jeez, people. Speaking of more RAM slots, we're still only going to use 2, but at least it gets an upgrade from DDR4 to DDR5. Unfortunately, the most popular kit is this 5600 Megatransfer's, Crucial Stick. It's much slower than the DDR4 we actually used last time. And we don't even get more capacity for our trouble. 32 gigs is climbing up the ladder in the hardware survey, but 16 gigs is king for now. At least our slow-ass RAM is only using 2 of those slots. The Thermalright Peerless Assassin 120 SE is an amazing value. I don't even know if it's the top seller on Amazon right now. I don't care. It's $35. You should buy it. Just installing the backplate here. Works with AMD or Intel. In our case, like we said, we're doing Intel. Moving on to storage. This is actually another pain point for me, Valve. 1 terabyte plus? Okay. And making matters worse is you guys don't even tell us what type of storage it is. Sure, in most cases, the difference between a SATA and an NVMe SSD is, almost non-existent today. But in the future, direct storage could be a massive game changer to help reduce load times. And if you don't share with game developers what type of storage is being used on most gamers' systems, they're probably less inclined to utilize it. The one we're using today, which is, again, the top seller on Amazon, has, holy cow, 10,000 plus people have bought this in the last month? Well, it's a 2 terabyte 990 Evo Plus. We're gonna put it right in the top slot there. Oh, there we go. Now we just need to put our board in a case. But which one? You see, the Corsair 3500X is the top seller, and it would be a very good choice. But what really caught my eye was the Aqua 7 by Okeanos. Have you ever heard of Okeanos? Neither have I. But they were Amazon's top pick, and according to their website, which, by the way, appears to be completely AI generated from product descriptions to customer testimonials and even their hours of operation, Okeanos has been a trusted name in the PC accessories industry, committed to delivering high-performance cooling solutions and innovative cable management. That's AI. 100% AI. At $90 though, these 2 tempered glass panels and the 6 included RGB fans are kind of hard to beat, especially when Corsair wants anywhere between $20 and $40 for a single RGB fan. Honestly, if you kind of like the Lian Li O11 dynamic look, this honestly seems pretty sick. Tons of intake for the ventilation for probably the power supply at the bottom, and then it kind of has the bottom to top airflow design, the wrapped glass look, and even your I/O on the front here. Feels very light though for a case. Actually just have to see what building in it is like. Oh, it's actually got like an included fan hub as well. Very nice. Oh man, once this glass is off though, I can really tell this thing weighs absolutely nothing. This weighs like 2 pounds. Alrighty, well, let's build in it. I didn't actually check the clearance if this cooler's gonna fit. I really hope it does. Oh boy. Oh yeah, it looks like it will. Alrighty. One thing I just got to is I did my other screws. I'm getting ready to do these bottom 3. These fans are kind of in the way of reaching these bottom screws. Might be a little bit annoying. We'll see if we can actually get them in here. You know what? You can probably make it work, but it's something to be considerate about. A bigger issue is this slot is now actually unusable if you decide to keep these fans in. Getting those bottom headers plugged in is probably also going to be a pain. Oh, we'll have to see here. We should wire everything up though, I guess, first. So let's get our power supply, which in this case, we ended up with something that's probably a bit overkill for our system, the Corsair RM1000X. I'm not complaining though. It's a quality, fully modular unit that, according to our labs teams, actually exceeds its rated efficiency at low loads. Plus, it's got a lot of headroom if you decide to install a beefier GPU. Definitely not a lot of managing room back here. There's our PCIe power. I guess we should install the GPU. Which brings us to the star of the show, the RTX 3060. Specifically the 8 gig version. Okay. This is actually a lot better than the last time we did a Steam average PC, because that GPU got a downgrade during the great GPU shortage. Plus, that GPU did not have a lot of modern features presented on these newer cards, specifically like DLSS resolution upscaling or even ray tracing. It's not powerful enough that I would actually turn ray tracing on, especially in demanding titles, but it's still a very competent GPU. You should just try to get the 12 gigabyte version if you're considering getting one of these today. This might be kind of a bowed out side panel. There's not a ton of cable management room here. Sometimes you gotta give it the old... Dang it. Oh yeah. She's a little bowed. Wow. It's not a bad looking system. The white GPU is a little bit of an eyesore. I should have gone with an all black GPU, but whatever, let's fire it up. With the average PC complete, we just have a few finishing touches. The only information we have on monitors is actually the resolution. So for our setup, we're rocking the 1080p lifestyle. 1440p has gained about 8% share since the last time we did this, but it is still miles away from becoming the most common gaming resolution. One stat that I would love to see in the future would be the refresh rate, because I have a feeling that more and more users are actually switching to higher refresh rate displays now that you can get a 165 Hz monitor for as little as $100. But Valve doesn't include that information. Yet? Valve? Let's turn the computer on. As for our final survey stat, we just need an operating system, and it looks like 2025 is still the year of the Windows desktop. But hey, at least it's Windows 11 now, thanks to Microsoft killing Windows 10. Neat! Linux has actually made a little bit of progress towards gaming domination, but if you were expecting Tux to ride in like this, that 1% gain, most likely due to products like the Steam Deck, is going to come as a disappointment. I know I said I wasn't going to turn RTX on this card, but I kind of want to see how it handles Indiana Jones. All right, so we're on native 1080p, no upscaling, no frame gen, very minimal RTX settings, and we're on medium to low. But in our intro scene here, we're getting about 75 average FPS, and it's not dropping below 60 in our 1%. Man, at any point in this game, if you just like pause and stand still, Like everything looks fantastic. Again, especially since we're not doing any sort of DLSS upscaling or anything. But now it's a 30 series card, so now you'd have access to it. We should try something else though. Let's try the new Doom. Just came out like last week at the time of filming.
Doom Dark Ages.
It's kind of averaged out at 50 average FPS, and that's my 1% lows. I mean, 60 is what I would call bare minimum nowadays. But hey, you know what? We have access to DLSS. I am gonna turn it on just because I want to do a sanity check. And I am immediately at about 20 FPS higher? 70 average FPS, 65 in my 1% lows. But I want to see what some other people think about the Steam average PC.
I'll play games even if they're not like, 120. I'm chilling if it's at 50, and this so far looks really playable, at least to me. Is this like the hardest part in the game to like run at the beginning with all the foliage?
Yeah, it's very physically demanding.
Yeah, so I mean, if this is the hardest part of the game, I'd imagine the rest of it, I'd be more than happy to play it like this. It probably runs better than my home PC.
It's chugging, right? Because the moment where I think we're entering a more densely populated area where like there's so much more light refracting off the leaves and stuff like that too, it full on stopped for a bit. Whoa, what is going on? What?
That was the ultimate ray tracing experience.
yeah. So see, like the environment's pretty responsive, but yeah, I go here and it's like, oh, all the rays. God? Is that you?
Is this a playable experience?
It is a playable experience, especially a game like this. It's a bit of a more relaxed, cinematic experience.
It looks pretty soft. It doesn't look bad, but it definitely looks low resolution. It might not help that this monitor is a really crappy old monitor. As far as average computers go, if this is what the average gamer has, not so bad. I can definitely tell some of the settings are down, like the shading of the foliage is pretty unremarkable. But I also think we're in this weird era of PC gaming where we're so obsessed with fidelity, and it's like, it doesn't freaking matter. Just turn that part of your brain off and just enjoy the art.
Would you be happy with this gaming experience?
I would be fine with this gaming experience. If you're playing it at these settings and you're unable to have fun, that's a you problem, man. That is not the game's problem.
Give us your experience on Doom.
I mean, it runs better than Indiana Jones, but it's that hard. I mean, I think it's a good sign that I'm just like kind of locking in and just like, oh, I'm just gaming. This is fun. No problems, Basically, if I didn't have frame view in the top left, I'd just be happy,
Yeah, hey, this is feeling good. If I was like, hey, this is the PC you're gonna game with, I'd make Doom. I'd be like, okay, cool, I can play Doom on.
And honestly, there's really not that much else to say about this thing. It's a great cooler from a company that's been playing the game just about as long as anyone, and it comes at a great price. Now let's fire it up and see if this Samsung SSD works. I guess before we can fire this up, we're probably going to need a power supply. Amazon suggested the RM850X, which is a little overkill for our build today, but it's a reputable unit and it gives us some headroom if we want to upgrade our GPU down the line. Also, being 33% off at the time, that doesn't hurt. Now, the keen-eyed among you might have noticed something though. We thought we had an RM850X in our stock, so we didn't order one, but it turns out we have the Shift version. We could have delayed the shoot, but we thought, you know what? Shift happens, and it doesn't make a difference to performance, so time to get some modular cables installed. Power! Hey! There we go. All right, theoretically, we should just fire up into Windows, unless it actually has problems with Samsung drives. Did they say what the compatibility issue is supposed to be?
Should just be a motherboard BIOS update.
Okay, well, evidently ours is updated, so cool. But we can't leave it like this, so we took Amazon's advice and bought a Corsair 4000D Airflow. At full price, honestly, it's a little on the expensive side, but at about 24% off, it's hard to say no. We've built in this case plenty of times, and I like it. It's thoughtfully laid out, easy to work in, and most of the low-star reviews had to do with the lack of space around the power supply unit, which we accidentally remedied by going with the side-mounted modular cables. But you could also remedy by just plugging in your regular modular power supply cables ahead of time, then sliding the whole thing in. And finishing touch, now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the GPU and... Okay, no, I'm kidding. It's not going to be an off-brand RX 580 like last time. Instead, we've got something far more modern, an RTX 3060 12 gig. It's neither the latest, nor is it the greatest, but it should do us just fine for high-end 1080p gaming, or even 1440p in a pinch, thanks to NVIDIA frame rate boosting features like DLSS. Most of the complaints about this card had to do with them breaking down over time, which can happen, and it seems like most of those folks were frustrated that it happened past the return window. So maybe we found a fatal flaw in Amazon's returned infrequently criteria? After all, a card that can't be returned is not necessarily a card that shouldn't be returned. Let's see if ours works. Hey, there we go. So overall, we paid $1,147, which is not too bad. We've said for years that this is right around the sweet spot of price to performance, and without even firing it up, I can tell you this is going to be a much better machine than what we built last time. However, the question isn't, can we beat last time? The question is, can we beat this? Plouffe believes that his hand-picked configuration will outperform Mr. Bezos' tech tips, while also being cheaper?
By about $20. And I don't believe. I know.
A bold claim. He is rocking the same 7700X thanks to that sweet deal, but he managed slightly faster memory, a Gen 4 drive with a DRAM cache, and a Radeon 7700 XT. Sure, we downgraded to a motherboard that lacks PCIe Gen 5, and the H5 Flow, it's not as premium a case as the 4000D Airflow, but man, is that ever a lot of GPU. And the big surprise here is that almost all of the deals that we found to build this machine were on Amazon. So if their overall choice was algorithmically adjusted, they could have offered us this same config for just $60 more than what we paid. So let's see if he slayed the dragon. Starting with Horizon Zero Dawn.
So 1080p, ultimate quality.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh, hamburgers.
I know that we're in different zones.
Yeah, but still.
I've got like over 50 or 60 FPS higher than you.
Yeah, this is not close.
I don't think it's close at all. I've got almost twice the frames. It's not a perfect scientific benchmarking system we're doing here, but I don't think even if I go to the same spot as you, I'm gonna suddenly shoot down to like 83 FPS. Let's go to another game. Let's check another game.
Hold on, I want to try turning on frame gen. I can use DLSS. Oh.
It's still not as good.
No, it's really not.
Yeah, that actually didn't boost your FPS as much as I thought it would. It's higher, but not by a lot. Do I have AMD's upscaling method with super resolution? So don't get me wrong.
It's not as good.
It's not as good.
It's not.
I don't even like DLSS because I can tell when it's on. But now I'm getting almost 200 frames a second.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it dipped a lot, but I'm 170, 160.
Especially in a game with a lot of nature, a lot of trees.
Oh, I know. It looks so bad. It looks so bad. It really does not. I can't do it. Even this, you can see.
Well, you're a diva.
Look at this. You can see the shimmering.
I can't do it.
Okay. We're at different spots.
Okay, that's fine.
I've kind of got a bit more going on.
I mean, I don't think
oh my God.
Matters.
Look at this. 47, 43. My 1% lows are 90.
It's amazing what skimping on basically everything but your GPU and then blowing as much money as possible on your GPU will do for your gaming experience at higher resolutions or higher detail levels.
Oh yeah. And we didn't even skimp that much. These are all pretty brand name parts I chose, you know, no weird Thermaltake power supplies or anything like that.
Yeah, what power supply do you have?
Also Corsair, but I went down 100 watts. I don't think this is any kind of contest.
I don't really think we need to run any more games. I think this has been very much settled at this point. Overall then, the system is nowhere near as bad as last time. We were given decent products from reputable brands, sometimes even at a great price. But while the 3060 12 gig is a perfectly cromulent card if you want to game at 1080p, well, medium, depending on the game, we'll have it linked down below along with everything else, it's impossible to avoid the truth that it is getting a little long in the tooth, especially if you consider that 50 series is rumored to be right around the corner. Along with this segue to our sponsor, Ugreen. You know what can be a bit boring? Charging your devices. I mean, it's such a mundane task. You plug in your iPhone when it's dead, you sit there and wait for it to get enough juice so you can send a text. Well, Ugreen wants to add a little spice to your life with their Uno series of charging accessories. They have all the Ugreen power delivery and reliability we've grown to love, but the twist is that now every product in this lineup has a TFT smart display that shows your charging status in the form of a cute little emoji. For example, check out their Uno GAN 100 watt charger. It's got 3 USB-C ports, 1 USB-A port, and according to Ugreen's tests, it can take an iPhone 16 from 0 to 57% in just 30 minutes. You can also check out their Uno Magnetic 15 watt power bank. It's Qi 2 certified with a maximum output of 15 watts, a capacity of 10,000 milliamp hours, and it even has a built-in stand to prop up your device while it's charging. So learn more using our links and save big during their Black Friday sale down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the one where we built a PC using only the top search results. Spoiler, it was pretty much all sponsored products and a lot of them kinda sucked. This is obviously fake. A 16 terabyte SSD for $110, sales way past too good to be Trueville, clear into you must have been trying to get ripped off of us. Or at least you would think that. For the average shopper, it is shockingly easy to run into scam products on the world's largest e-commerce platform. Look at this. A quick search for external SSD yields real, fake on the second line. But come on, Linus, you might say. No one would buy a 1-star rated product from OKQKOK, which is fair enough. But what about these ones with nice prices, dozens of positive reviews, and prime shipping? Fake, fake, fake. And yet, Amazon is somehow allowing these scammers to not only list their wares, but to achieve prominent positions in search results. What's going on over there, Jeffy? You too busy riding in your rocket to take care of your customers? I mean, maybe. But also know the process that these companies use to defraud both unsuspecting shoppers and Amazon themselves is surprisingly savvy, and kind of like draconian anti-cheat methods, cracking down on them could end up harming the legitimate sellers more than it harms the bad actors. Just like it would harm me to not tell you about our sponsor.
Build Redux. They make it easy to configure your new build with support guides to help along the way. They also offer competitive pricing as compared to building a PC yourself. Head to buildredux.com/Linus and start your new build today.
Let's open up with a look at our 2 attempts to play ourselves here. First up is a 2 terabyte USB 3.1 portable SSD from Lurkser that is $36.99. From the product page on Amazon, it says that its features are 3-inch hard drive and Type-C port. Compare that to the $120 of greedy Western brands, and even if it does lack a loop for a strap or some ruggedization, it's a no-brainer, right? For a tech-minded audience, this difference in price would actually be a huge red flag. But guys, you gotta put yourself in the shoes of your uncle who spends more time de-weeding his garden than defragging his discs. I mean, look at this hand trowel. It's probably not a scam. A 70% discount might not seem like an obvious problem. I mean, even in tech there are categories like cables, for example, where you could easily spend a fifth of the price if you aren't subsidizing a bloated marketing budget or paying an influencer tax. Okay, even at the price, that's a good screwdriver, independently verified. I don't want to hear about it. LTTstore.com. Let's give this thing a fair shake, right? What the heck? This is not a good sign. What are these? It's crap already in ways I couldn't have possibly expected. It comes with a micro B to USB-A adapter and a Type-C to USB-A adapter, but even though it's color-coded blue, this is in fact a USB 2.0 adapter because you can see the other 5 pins aren't in there. Okay, extruded aluminum case. I see what you mean about it being difficult to open this thing up. This is gonna not be easy. Once again, USB 3 color-coded, actually USB 2 cable.
Is that actually a standard thing? Like
Yes.
that's like specified by USB
Yeah,
standards?
there's some non-standard colors, like Razer does green.
Yeah, I've
ones,
seen
and
that.
OnePlus does red. I've seen purple ones. I've seen yellow ones for like higher power or whatever. But blue means USB 3, in theory. How suspicious. These 2 SSDs from very different brands use the same elements of their images. Why are there pictures of hard drives to represent SSDs? Does this say it has 2 SSDs in it? You know what, we'll get to that one later. 19 megabytes per second reads. I like it. Thank goodness it's Type-C and M.2, it is not. High speed, you say. More like speed. I don't think that's making it in the video.
Is it still running?
Yeah, it's just taking absolutely forever to write the test file to it. Something is definitely amiss here. But even though the product page didn't specify a rated speed when we clicked buy, it's actually been updated since then to reflect its USB 2-ness. This product isn't necessarily a scam yet. It's just really slow.
It does take liberal use of the term USB 3.
Yeah, USB 3-ish.
It supports part of the USB 3.0 standard.
If you plug
which
it
is
into
USB 2.
Yeah, if you plug it into a USB 3 port, it will be detected. Now, tell me something, Adam. Do you know the answer to this already? Can I actually play back anything that's on it?
Surprisingly, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it either because I assumed at first that it would just be like a 32 gigabyte.
We've seen that scam before, where they just play around with the firmware of the device to make it show a large capacity, but when you actually try to write data to it, it turns out that it's not actually there, and if you try to read it back, it's just gone.
I mean, go look in the device properties.
Yeah, we'll see here. No, because the device properties will report correctly. Oh my goodness, can we just play this file, please? Here we go. Oh wow, it's at 100% use, playing a video.
It is red footage
You put all red footage on it?
because it's 4 gigabyte increments, so I can keep
Adam.
loading it and tell when it actually would die.
Gosh darn it, Adam.
It was a clever maneuver.
One of the issues we're running into here is if they are pulling a capacity scam, maybe the actual capacity is 128 gigs or 256 gigs. It would take us forever to fill this thing. Can I play back this file? Yes. Hey look, it's my baby boy. Use space, 176 gigs, okay, free space. Wait, vendor co? Yes, this is the vendor co product code USB device. Just leaving placeholders? I guess assuming they're running a firmware capacity hack is giving them too much credit. Oh wow, it's so... It's like I can actually see it looking for the next block of NAND. I don't think I have the patience to find out if they're running a capacity scam. Let's just
No,
open it up. I don't care.
the fact that it put 170 gigs on it
Yeah.
is like actually makes it not a terrible deal. What, like $16 for 128 gigs?
This drive is copying at 0 bytes per second right now, Adam. It's a terrible deal. It's a terrible product.
If you can't handle it at its lowest, you don't deserve it at its best.
I need to not stab my hand with this.